EMP27 reviewer. I'm gonna do Doctor Who videos roughly, well, every single week and keep you updated, give you my thoughts and my theories. I'm the reviewer. Will you travel with me? Okay, yeah, so I did a little bit of the theatrical, I'd say, for the intro of this video, but to say the least, I am a fan. Okay, guys, so Doctor Who Series 8, Episode 1, Deep Breath. Okay, so this is the long-awaited episode for the return of Doctor Who. Now, guys, there are going to be spoilers if I'm obviously discussing the episode and theories. There's going to be some spoilers, so you have been warned. This is the first time we're going to get the look at our new Doctor. But I love the way it starts out. It shows this shot of that T-Rex, and then you see Big Ben. And I don't know, I just like seeing these things that clearly aren't meant to be in the same world kind of thing, and that just always intrigues me. There's a dinosaur in downtown, and one thing I loved is that they lead you to believe that the main plot is this dinosaur. I mean, they lead it up. Like, there's this big old dinosaur, and the Doctor's gonna have to take care of it, right? Wrong! It's because the Doctor couldn't fly the thing right, and they got chased by a dinosaur, and it accidentally traveled in time with them. So in theory, you could argue a Tyrannosaurus Rex has been a companion. This is just the scapegoat. That there is this collection of people that are sort of creating synthesized humans. And the Doctor, of course, goes to investigate. But I gotta say, on the new Doctor, which let's face it, we all want to hear each other's thoughts on him, he is absolutely incredible. I think he could potentially be the best Doctor we've had yet. Yes, part of me could be excited fan syndrome, but he really killed it. What really, really sold it for me was when he was on the roof and, you know, he's running and he's like, "Oh, you! I am going to take care of you and take you home!" And to me, that solidified it, because we'd already seen him at that point be, I'd say, serious enough. But you just, I don't know, that sort of goofy guy, madman in a box, was really just captivated right there. He immediately can switch from humor just by even his face alone, with a look. He can switch from humor to serious, and you're like, just instantly captivated with whatever he has to say. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime Capaldi was on screen, it's just like immediate immersion, like he just sucks you into the TV. Capaldi keeps saying, "Why have I seen this before?" And I kept thinking, revisiting old faces, Tom Baker talking to him, here we are. And then I started to think about it, and they're in the restaurant, which is one of my favorite scenes in the whole entire thing. Because of that way, I don't know, I'm a sucker for people putting their hands on their face. I don't know why, but I am. And you see him going like, you know, look around the restaurant, but look without looking and stuff. I don't know why. I love that scene. That's like my favorite scene in the whole episode. It's so cool because this episode is tense. It's seriously like a rubber band that you're stretching to the very breaking point, and then it snaps. And Capaldi is absolutely carrying this tension where they're goofing around, and it starts out as kind of a goofy scene, and then out of nowhere he just sort of switches the tone, and you're just like, whoa. these people are eating, you realize when you think about it, oh yeah, they haven't been. So when he tells Clara, it's not like Clara is our eyes, and I love that they were able to convey that visually. But as I was watching the episode, I kept going, why do I keep hearing this tick, 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 tick? And then I remembered, oh man, as he rips off the face, I was like, they're robots. But not just any robots. So I kept my theories at bay. And a really tense scene in the episode is how long can you hold your breath? And Clara holds her breath as long as she can, and she's going, and you keep seeing more of these robots with the tick, 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 tick. And I was like, oh, it is. I don't know if you guys remember, I do, but the 10th Doctor, when he takes Rose onto that ship, the first time they travel with Mickey, they go and it's, these guys are their enemy.
Oh, you are beautiful. Oh, really, you are. You're gorgeous. Look at that. Space-age clockwork. I love it. I've got chills. Listen, seriously. I mean this from the heart. And, by the way, count those. It would be a crime. It would be an act of vandalism to disassemble you. But that won't stop me.
Yes, I'm a dork who plays with toys. No, they're not toys. They are vinyl collectible figurines, so you just stop typing your messages on my comments about playing with toys. Whoa, they've like evolved, but devolved. And I don't know how to explain it other than that. They've evolved, but they've devolved, and they're trying to gather up human remains, just like they did in that one. And the Doctor's going, where have I seen this before? Which means revisiting old faces. Here's where I'm going to start getting into the theory kind of aspect of this review / discussion. Seriously, incredible. With the revisiting old faces, I really think that this is like the genesis. Like, this is a story arc, because they kept emphasizing, where have I seen this before? The Doctor never remembered, which means I think there's going to be this story arc of essentially the SS Marie Antoinette, where those robots were, and now I think that they're really going to arc it over and have this sort of story that I don't know how to explain it, that it's really about him visiting old faces, but I think they're really going to emphasize the 10th Doctor. And I feel like maybe it's because production-wise, like behind the scenes, not like lore of the world of Doctor Who, but I think maybe they realized they kind of just sort of ditched a lot of the 10th Doctor stuff. And maybe they're kind of bringing that back, because I don't know about you, but I was giddier than a schoolgirl that I got to see some old villain faces again. And yeah, we get to see like the Daleks and stuff, but they really emphasized it, and that's what I like. The emphasis. Everything's going to hell, and Clara's like trapped. But the Doctor, this is the real difference. Most of the time the Doctor would try and, like, you know, open the door where he'd be like, I'm gonna save you! And stuff. And he'd use the old sonic screwdriver, and he sort of starts to, and then he just kind of goes, peace out, Clara, I'll be back later, baby. And he just runs off. And Clara, you just see her break, because it's like, seriously, if the person who defends the universe is putting you in these situations, and then he just goes, bye-bye, and leaves you and doesn't tell you what he's doing, you'd freak out too. But I love that Clara also, when she started to realize she was on her own, she started to sort of act the role of the hero. I loved that. Okay, now going on, we have this great scene with the Doctor talking to the robot, and the robot is basically saying, like, you know, I will reach the promised land. And they're talking about all of these great things, and the Doctor basically says, you have a broom, and you have to replace the handle after a while. Then you have to replace the actual like broom part of it, and you keep doing that over and over and over again. Is it the same broom? And then they do that amazing shot with the sort of like mirror reflection, and you see the robot looking and analyzing himself, and you see the doctor, and you see his face, and you realize that whole time the doctor's talking about himself, not about the robot. About he keeps replacing himself, he keeps regenerating. At that point, is he even still himself? And I love that you see the doctor break like that. And the big discussion I think that's going to be on this episode is, seriously, when you see him, all of a sudden the robots just stop working because they go to that really badass fight, and he's dead and he's impaled on the pole, the robot. And then you see the doctor just sitting there staring, and then he looks at the camera. Clearly for a trailer, but, you know, they're using it anyway. But I still keep going back and forth in my head. Did he kill him? I mean, you're sitting there, and you're just like, tell me! It's like, I don't know how to explain it other than he's just sort of holding back, and you want to know, and I keep going back and forth in my mind. It's driving me crazy. Okay, other than that, we sort of get the last bit of the episode, and the touching part really hits, and it's where the 12th Doctor calls Clara and basically explains. But when he answers and he's like, "It's me, the Doctor," you're just like, oh my god, emotion, tell me more. To say the least, I was excited. Because you're seeing these two sort of meet at the same time, and especially that scene where you almost see the jealousy. And I love where he basically says, you know, you might be scared, is more scared than you could be. And you have to think about it. I think that maybe the reason why he's doing this is because he said virtually goodbye to basically all of his companions before, as the 10th Doctor into the 11th Doctor, which means he was all alone when he started again. And I have to think, deep down, that that is him saying, like, you know, he's scared and alone. And I love that. You see the vulnerability of the Doctor, especially when he opens the door and he's like, is that the Doctor? And I just love that. It was such a touching scene. I don't know, it just brought the emotion, and it sort of connected these worlds together so they're not so separated. And I think it was a great send-off. Now, here's where everything really gets weird. The robot seems to wake up in a garden, and I'm like, what? No, that's not, no, what? And then all of a sudden this weird lady comes over and is just like, hey, I hope my boyfriend didn't treat you weird. And you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The Doctor basically has a wife, River Song, who's cool and awesome. You look like Mary Poppins from hell. Who are you? She says her name's Missy. And at first I thought maybe it is River Song, like in a previous form, or somehow figured out how to regenerate. But Missy M. I'm thinking it's the Master. You know, at first I thought it was River Song, but now I'm totally sold. I pretty much think this is the Master. And, you know, with This Is Paradise, This Is Heaven, what if, you know, something went weird when the Master was working with Gallifrey and that world was being closed off? What if there were regeneration complications and the Master changed genders? The Doctor already established it can happen. It doesn't seem to be a frequent thing, seeing as the Doctor has been a male for 2,000 years. So what if there was a complication and the Master became a woman? I think that would be awesome. That'd be cool, because you could have this really evil chick who's already creepy. And I just personally love it. I think it's great. And I hope, they haven't said anything, but I hope that it's the Master. Now, here's the really weird, complicated thing, is why bring that Clockwork guy there? Why bring these guys? Revisiting old faces. What if that's a warning that the Master is gathering an army of the Doctor's old enemies? And I think that'd be great. Especially because these guys could be a really cool recurring villain. I keep wanting to say that she's the Master, but Missy seems to be gathering people. And she's very theatrical, still kind of loony, and very creepy. And the Master is loony, and that's for sure. So I think this is honestly the Master who's gathering an army. We know the Cybermen episode is coming up. I think maybe it's going to all converge on the Christmas special, or obviously the finale of the show. So I really wonder, is this what's going to happen? I think that's going to be the quiet story arc underneath. We know we're getting the Dalek episode next week. So I don't have much speculation on that yet, other than Capaldi's going to say, "Into darkness," and it sounds awesome. So, guys, please, we had fun watching the episode, a lot of fun. Capaldi's great. I'm so glad he's great. But let's keep the fun going on here. Let's keep talking on here. I'm going to keep these videos out every single week, I promise you. And tomorrow, I'm going to have the Strain video out after the Strain. And I'm going to keep those videos out. So Saturday, Doctor Who, Sunday, The Strain. Let's keep these videos coming. Please like and subscribe and come back. I'd love to keep hearing from you. Every week is our new theories, because more than likely, Mark Gatiss is going to prove us wrong and be like, "You guys think you're right. I'm going to write this now." And just like in 10 minutes, write a new story that we're just like, "What?" So please, guys, let's keep discussing it. Let's keep this fun. It makes it more fun as an experience throughout the whole season, I'd feel. So let's keep them coming. Until next time, allons-y.